and people's did you find any videos through your investigation of the range on that day?
Yes.
And where'd you find it?
On James Crumbly's cell phone.
All right, and you're looking at 172 and 173. We're going to play those for the jury, but before we do, can you tell them what they're going to see?
Yes, so the first video is at 12:58 p.m. on June 20th, and it's a video of the shooter's son shooting the Kel-Tec pistol at the gun range. And then the following video is a video of the defendant's son shooting the Derringer at an outdoor gun range a couple minutes later.
Okay.
Same range, both?
Yes.
Go ahead.
All right. What, if anything, do you see or notice in that video?
In the second one?
Yes.
It appeared he almost shot his hand on the during the video.
And why is that?
He had his hand in front of the muzzle of the firearm.
Okay. When you say he, who do you mean?
I'm sorry, the defendant, Mr. Crumbly's son.
Okay. The shooter.
Yes.
All right. Did you know? Did James send those videos to anybody that day?
I don't recall if he sent them that day or the next day, but he did send them to Mrs. Crumbly at some point.
All right. And how do you know that?
I reviewed her cell phone as well.
Okay. And Exhibit 174. Can you tell the jury what that is?
Yes. So that is one of the videos being sent on June 21st, 2021.
All right. And this is two slides or this is two slides. Can you do this one? And then, is this the second video?
Yep, this is in the reverse order. So the first, they're both videos were sent from James Crumbly to Jennifer Crumbly on June 21st, 2021.
Okay, so these exhibits are him sending her the videos?
Yes.
All right, did you learn what she did with the videos, if anything?
Yes, she took one of the videos and uploaded it, I believe, as an Instagram story.
Okay, and that's Exhibit 175. Can you read what the post says in addition to the video?
Sure. It says Ethan, and it tags, I believe that's Mr. Crumbly's Instagram account. Both got handguns this week, testing them out at the range.
All right. And then now we're to drawing your attention to June 26th. Did they go to the gun range that day?
Yes.
Do you know where it was?
It was at so for the rest of these, I believe it's the indoor gun range in Clarkston, Michigan.
Okay. And Exhibit 176, can you tell the jury what that is?
This is a receipt in the name of James Robert Crumbly on June 26, 2021 for one range, handgun range fee of $20 and then one small silhouette target at 75 cents.
Do you know if the videos were taken on that day?
Yes.
Do you know if they were sent to anyone?
I do.
And who were they sent to?
Jennifer Crumbly.
Okay. Drawing your attention to Exhibit 177. What is that, if you know?
This is a video sent from James Crumbly to Jennifer Crumbly of the shooter at the firearms range in Clarkston on June 26th.
Okay. And is 178, which is admitted, I believe, is this the video that was taken and sent to Jennifer?
Yes, this is actually, I believe, is the Instagram story that was created from that video and uploaded to Instagram by Jennifer Crumbly.
Can you tell from the video which firearm he's using?
Yes, that's the Kel-Tec P17 .22 caliber pistol.
Okay. Drawing your attention to July 2nd, did you uncover any evidence that James and his mother-in-law, Jennifer's mother, went to the range with the shooter?
Yes.
And how did you discover that?
So there were messages between James Crumbly and his mother-in-law on Facebook discussing a range visit. I think the conversation occurs on July 2nd, 2021, but it's actually for a range visit occurring on, I believe, July 3rd, 2021.
Okay, can you read that to the jury?
Sure. So in blue is going to be James Crumbly's mother-in-law. She says, still planning on taking the shooter to the gun range tomorrow morning. Then lunch, is he still available, and do we need to make reservations? Mr. Crumbly responds, he is good, no reservations needed, I'll go with you guys. His mother-in-law replies, awesome, glad you could join us. We don't know what we are doing, LOL.
And then this is 377.
377. And then the next response from James?
Just take Maybe Road up to Dixie, turn left, and it will be on the right-hand side. The shooter will be excited. We will rent a few different guns. They have a special for 9mm on 25 for a box of 50. His mother-in-law replies, sounds great. Mr. Crumbly says, make it closer to 1045.
Right. And do we have any video from that day?
We do not.
Do we know who was there? Well, first, it's 179 and 180. What are those?
Those are receipts from July 25th. Those are not from that visit.
Okay, so now we're to July 25th.
Yes.
And what do those receipts show?
So on the left-hand side of the screen is looks like a purchase of ammunition for 6 boxes of 22 caliber ammunition for a total of $47.90 or $50.82 at the bottom. And then on the right, it's a range visit by Mr. Crumbly. It's a handgun range fee at $20, a small silhouette. I should mention that the receipt on the left also is in the name James Crumbly.
What's a silhouette mean?
It's a silhouette of a person that's used at a gun range.
Okay, and Exhibit 181, can you tell the jury what that is?
Yes, so this is geolocation information for the Gmail account for James Crumbly, and for, I believe he is in green on this, and then the purple dots would be Jennifer Crumbly meeting on July 25th, 2021. Both Jennifer and James Crumbly were at the firearms range in Clarkston, Michigan.
Okay. Drawing your attention to August 15th, Exhibit 183. This is a receipt. What is it for?
This is dated August 15th, 2021. The receipt has a range fee of $20 again. I believe that's so it'll be 200 rounds of 22 caliber ammunition and 1 small silhouette, again a silhouette of a person target.
And 184, what is this?
This is James Crumbly's Gmail geolocation information showing he was at the Clarkston gun range at that time.
Okay. And you were here for Ed Wogrowski's testimony, correct?
Yes.
All right. Did you see the video that the shooter sent to his friend in August of 2021?
I did.
All right. I'm going to put 70 and 71 up on the screen. That's one slide. First, what are we looking at?
So this is the first video filmed by the defendant's son on August 19th around 9:30 p.m. that was sent to his friend.
All right. And what time was it?
It was 9:31 p.m.
Okay. And can you see that video? Can you stop it right there? Okay, I'm stopping. Mr. Keese is stopping it. What are we looking at?
So this is the defendant's son holding the Kel-Tec P17 pistol. It doesn't appear to have a magazine inserted. Didn't appear to have a round in the chamber. The safety was, again, red means dead. The safety was not engaged.
Okay. And can you continue? All right. Can you tell, based on, I should probably lay a better foundation, were you ever inside the Crumbly home?
Yes.
When were you there?
On the night of November 30th, 2021, the night of the shooting, we executed the search warrant there.
Okay, so you were there during the search?
Yes.
Okay. Do you recognize anything in that video that signifies where the shooter was?
I do, but not from being in the residence. It was from other cell phone extractions from, I believe, Mrs. Crumbly and Mr. Crumbly's phones. I believe they changed couches in that living room at some point. It was a black leather couch that I recognized being in the living room.
Okay. All right. Exhibit 72 and 73. They've both been previously admitted. Can you tell the jury what this is?
This is the video that I believe Detective Bobrowski had testified to previously. It was sent to the defendant's son's friend by the defendant's son on August 20th at 12:30 in the morning.
All right. And was there a text that accompanied this right after or before the video was sent?
Yes, it was around the time that the video was sent. I believe it said, my dad left it out, so I thought, why not? LOL. I'm paraphrasing. I don't know if that's the exact text, but that's the general idea.
Can we have a text? The next slide. Next slide. Is that the text?
Yes, that's it.
Okay. And we're going to play the video, which has been previously admitted. And before we do, can you tell the jury what they're about to see?
Sure. So the defendant's son has the Keltec P17 pistol in his hand. Again, the safety's not engaged. He slams the firearm down on top of the magazine, loads the magazine, and then sends the slide forward, chambering around into the firearm, meaning that if he pulled the trigger at that moment, it would go off.
Okay. All right. What do you see in that picture besides the Caltech?
Appears to be a cat.
And based on your investigation, do you know about that cat?
I believe that's the shooter's cat, Dexter.
All right. And what surface is that? Can you tell?
Yes. So after being in the home for the search warrant, I'm aware that is their kitchen. Really didn't have a kitchen area. It was more their living room or dining room table, so to speak. It was a higher kind of four-top table. That is the same wood grain that's on the table in their dining room.
All right, and we know this was taken at 12:30 a.m. Is that what you said?
I believe it was sent at 12:30, but I think it was taken relatively close to that time.
Okay. Do you hear anything else in the background?
All I heard was crickets and then the sound of the magazine and then the slide going forward.
Okay, and we previously introduced the GPS data that shows whether or not James Crumbly was in the home during this time. Was he?
He was.
Okay. Okay. Can you just look at me? All right. Just want to talk to me about this video, Special Agent Brandon, and what your view is on whether or not what was happening in that video was safe.
So I would say that regardless if Mr. Crumbly was standing over his shoulder or not, that would not be safe. The firearm is on top of a dining room table. It's loaded, the safety's off, and it's pointed in a direction that if you're inside their home, you can't tell from the video whether he's facing the front of the home or the side of the home. But regardless, the firearm's pointed in a direction that would be almost chest level if a person was beyond the walls of the house or if a person was standing nearby. Not to mention almost, pointing the firearm at the cat.
All right. That's the magazine. Can you tell if it's loaded or not?
Yes, that magazine there, you can see the rounds of ammunition in the firearm.
All right, and you said, could you see whether there was a round in the chamber?
I don't believe there was until he loaded the magazine and then sent the slide forward, or else it would have malfunctioned. Okay,
where's he loading? That's loading the magazine. Is that's the safety?
Yep. So the safety's not engaged, and the round is the top of the magazine is visible there. And once he sends that slide forward, that's what takes that round and puts it into the chamber.
Okay. What if that was being supervised by somebody like James? Would it change your opinion of the safety of that action?
No, so based on what we spoke about before being the 4 rules of firearm safety, so obviously that firearm's loaded, so treat every firearm like it's loaded. Point it in a safe direction, so there's really no safe direction for that firearm to be if it's chest level on a table. The only safe position would be whether it was outside or pointed at the floor. Obviously if you're loading a firearm to carry on your person, you point it at the floor where it's away from people so it can't hurt anyone at the discharge.
Okay. I want to draw your attention to September 1st. Did James and take his son to the shooting range on that day?
Your Honor, I'm just going to ask for clarification. September 1st of what year?
2021. The weapons weren't purchased until June 2021 and November 2021.
Yes, I believe that's correct, yes.
All right, and Exhibit 185, what is that?
It says, it's a Facebook message from James Crumbley to Jennifer Crumbley, and it says, the shooter and I are headed to the gun range.
And Exhibit 186 and 187?
Those are receipts from the gun range in Clarkston, both in James Crumbley's name. The one on the left is for range time. It's like 200 rounds of 22 caliber ammunition, 2 silhouette targets, and then a rental of a 22 caliber revolver. And then on the right-hand side is one 50-round box of 22 caliber ammunition.
Did James take a video of his son that day?
Yes.
And how do you know?
It was located on James Crumbley's phone.
And that's Exhibit 188?
Yes.
All right, we're going to play that. All right. On September 25th of 2021, did you come to learn that James took his son to the range on that day?
Yes.
And this is Exhibit 189. What's that receipt for?
So it's a receipt again, and the name's James Robert Crumbley. It's got a range fee, a rental of a 9mm pistol, 9mm ammunition, 22 caliber ammunition, as well as a black torso target, it says.
All right. And this, do you know if that was a SIG?
That was not. It was a 9mm HK VP9.
Okay. Is there a video of that day?
Yes. So the actual gun range surveillance video. This was the furthest back for the range visits that we could get due to the footage writing over itself. So September 25th was the first date that we actually could get footage from the gun range in Clarkston.
All right, and this is 190. We're going to play that. And what are we looking at here?
So this is at the gun range in Clarkston. This is outside of the shooting area. This is where you pay for targets, ammunition, rent firearms. In the white sweatshirt is Mr. Crumbley wearing looks like a Seattle Seahawks ball cap. And then you have the shooter wearing a gray sweatshirt, dark colored pants, Nike shoes, and a black hat.
And what do you observe James Crumbley wearing at his belt level?
Appears to be a holster. malfunction from the firearm. He's checking the chamber to see if a round's chambered. He's having some kind of malfunction with it, and he is having trouble clearing it.
And can you tell what firearm that is?
The footage here is real grainy. I can't say for certain.
And what does he appear to be doing right at this time?
So he keeps checking the chamber for a round. He's having issues with it. He goes over to Mr. Crumbly. They walk back over. Mr. Crumbly picks up the firearm. He racks the slide 3 times to try to see what's going on with the firearm, and then he inserts the magazine here and gets the firearm back in operating condition.
All right. What is the relative price difference between the 9mm ammunition and 22 ammunition?
So just generally speaking, the 9mm ammunition is more expensive than 22 caliber ammunition. 22 caliber ammunition is more for target practice, and 9mm ammunition can be used for anything from target practice to home defense. It's generally more expensive for 9mm ammunition.
And when you say more expensive, can you roughly say about how much, generally?
Objection to relevance, Your Honor.
Yeah, what's the relevance?
The relevance is that 9mm ammunition is expensive, and it's typically not something that you would buy just to shoot at the range, particularly if this is your hobby. It's expensive.
That calls for speculation, Your Honor.
Well, unless he knows. Unless he knows.
Is 9mm ammunition, because of the cost, is it something that you typically see at a range?
People do shoot 9mm ammunition at the range. Now, what level of money they're willing to pay for that type of ammunition all varies depending on if you're going to shoot at the range. Obviously, you're going to try to use less expensive ammunition, but I'd be speculating anything beyond that.
Okay, thank you. Drawing your attention to October 3rd, was there evidence uncovered that James and his son went to the range on that day?
Yes.
And Exhibit 191, that's a Facebook message?
Yes, this is from James Crumbly to Jennifer Crumbly on October 3rd at 12:01 p.m. It says, "Cool, just got cleaning our guns, leaving for range in a few."
All right, and then 192 is a receipt. Is it from that day?
Yes, it's from October 3rd, 2021, in the name James Robert Crumbly. It's for a silhouette target, a range fee. I believe that's 100 rounds of 22 caliber ammunition, and then an additional, looks like an additional 2 boxes of 22 caliber ammunition.
All right. Drawing your attention now to November 26th of 2021, you testified earlier that you were involved in the tracing of the weapon and the purchase of it on that day, correct?
Yes.
All right. And was that 9mm SIG purchased on that day?
Yes.
I'm showing you previously admitted 37 and 38. We talked about this. What are these?
This is the receipt from the gun store in Oxford for the Sig Sauer SP 2022 9mm pistol that was sold to James Crumbly.
All right, and the cost?
It was the gun itself was $489.95 with tax. It was a total of $519.35.
All right, and 38 is what?
This is the pistol sales record that would have been completed by the gun store and signed by Mr. Crumbly, documenting his purchase of the Sig Sauer pistol.
And were you able to, or did you review any posts that the shooter made with this firearm purchased for him?
Yes.
All right, and I want to draw your attention to Exhibit 95, and there are 3 slides here. What's the first one?
So the first one, so the text for the post, it was November 26th, says, "Just got my new beauty today, Sig Sauer 9mm. Ask any questions, I will answer." It's a picture in the Crumbly's kitchen. It's hard to see from this photograph, but there's you see yellow and then some wood floor underneath it. That's the counters in their kitchen.
So I'm holding the box, so this would be showing through this handle with the circle?
Correct.
Okay.
Yes, and that is the Sig Sauer SP 2022 purchased by James Crumbly.
All right, and then the second slide?
This is a picture of the defendant's son holding the Sig Sauer SP 2022 in the Crumley family residence. That's the same floor inside their house.
And it's a post?
Yes.
All right. And it says?
It's the same. So the same text appears in all three photographs, but there's the second. There's the first photograph of just the firearm, second of Mr. Crumley or Mr. Crumley's son holding the firearm, and then the third picture, I believe, is the Mr. Crumley's son lining up the sights. So on a firearm, there's the rear sights and the front sights, and when you line those up, that's what you're shooting at. That's what you use to aim, and that's where those three dots are aligned. That's Mr. Crumley's son pointing the firearm at the floor inside their residence.
All right. Drawing your attention to 97, Exhibit 97. This is, where was this photo found?
This was found on Jennifer Crumley's cell phone. It depicts the top firearm where you see the red dot again is the Caltech the P17, and then the bottom firearm is the murder weapon. It's the Sig Sauer SP 2022. This is all inside of the Sig Sauer box. So you see the two Sig magazines on the right side of the screen, plus the ATF pamphlet and the cable lock provided by Sig Sauer.
Okay. Anything stand out to you about this picture?
As far as
The ATF
well,
pamphlet?
the pamphlet obviously is on top of the foam in this picture, and the cable lock is still in the box with the Sig Sauer. Obviously, it was later recovered in the Caltech box, not in the box with the Sig Sauer.
All right, and in addition to the ATF pamphlet, is there anything else posted at the gun store about safety?
Yes, so behind the counter in the gun store in Oxford is the same 4 bullet points that are on the inside left cover of that ATF Youth Handgun Safety Act. It hangs behind the counter.
All right.
Remember, that's 193.
Yes, it's 193. All right. I don't know. This is me. Okay. All right. This is Exhibit 42. What is this?
That is the cable lock that was provided with the Sig Sauer pistol.
All right, and is this cable lock is specifically provided with the Sig, with this actual gun?
That's correct, yes.
Okay, and looking at this, I'm going to hand it to you now.
I get another pair of gloves. It's getting a little hot up here.
I know, I took mine off too.
Is it getting hot in here?
Yeah.
It's climbing.
Yeah, it happens all the time.
Thank you.
I don't know if those are the small ones.
That's all right.
We're working on it.
Definitely smaller ones this time.
Sorry.
Sorry.
I do have the bigger ones.
That's all right.
You got them on. Okay. I'm going to ask you I'm going to hand this to you, and then I'm going to ask you to tell the jury whether or not you think this has ever been opened.
So I would say, is it possible that this top part had been opened? Yes. If this was used consistently and pulled out of this packaging, there'd be more tearing on the side. It's cheap plastic packaging.
All right, and what's inside of it at the bottom?
So there's the instruction manual in here, as well as the 2 keys that are still inserted in the cable lock.
Okay, and your testimony is this is provided with, I'm going to take this back. This was provided with the SIG when it was purchased on November 26th, correct?
Yes.
And where was this found in the home when you searched it on November 30th, 2021?
That was in the Caltech box in the kitchen.
All right, so it was found not in the SIG box.
No.
So the Caltech box, which is somewhere here.
Underneath the SIG box. Yeah.
Okay. So the SIG cable lock was found with the Caltech. Where was the Caltech?
The Caltech box is in the kitchen.
Okay, but the Caltech, the weapon, was in the gun safe?
That's correct, yeah. The Caltech pistol was in the gun safe in the Crumley's bedroom.
Okay, so this was found open or closed?
That was closed.
All right, and did you testify earlier this was found in a cabinet in the kitchen?
I believe it was a cabinet or like a little space in the kitchen underneath it, like an island or whatever.
Okay, and if we go back to the picture that Jennifer Crumley posted, same cable lock?
Yes.
Okay. On November 27th, drawing your attention to Exhibit 195. What is that?
That is a receipt from the range in the name Jennifer Lynn Crumley for November 27, 2021. It's for pistol range visit, 1 target, and 2 boxes of Patriot Defense 9mm 124 grain ammunition at $23 or almost $24 a box.
Okay, so 4 days earlier when the gun was purchased, is there a video of that?
Yes.
The purchase of the gun?
Is there a video of the purchase of the gun? No. The gun store did not have footage for that day.
Okay, but this is the 27th, the next day. Is that a Saturday?
I believe so, yes.
Okay. And is there a video from that?
Yes, there was footage at the gun range in Clarkson. There was not footage at the gun store in Oxford.
Okay. And do you've heard all the testimony before? Were you able to determine where James Crumley was on this day, on a Saturday when Jennifer and the shooter went to the range?
Yes, he was working that day doing DoorDash deliveries for most of the day.
Okay. All right. It's Exhibit 196. I'm going to play this and the first part of it and stop for a moment at the counter and then move to, I think, just a section at the end because it's long. So
Sure.
Just wanted to let everyone know. Okay, so what are we looking at right now?
So the woman holding the pistol case, that's the 6-hour pistol case, that's Jennifer Crumley. Behind her is the shooter wearing that gray sweatshirt and sweatpants and black shoes.
Now, she's paying for what, if you know?
So right now I think she just handed him her license.
Okay.
Based on the receipts for this visit, like I said, there was the target, 2 boxes of 9mm ammunition, and then the range visit itself.
All right. Okay, I'm going to stop it there. What is he doing?
He made a 2 with his hand.
All right, and how many boxes of ammo did they actually purchase?
2.
Your Honor, I'm going to object. It sounds like the prosecution is asking Agent Brandon to speculate as to what the number 2 could be. There are also 2 people there. There could be 2 sets of ear protection. It could be 2 targets. It could be 2 of anything. She's asking for speculation.
That goes to weight, not admissibility.
Yeah, I think it does.
Okay.
You don't know what he was referring to. There's no sound.
I don't. If you play the video and it continues, you'll see what happens next.
Okay.
Okay. And if you know what is happening now?
He's picking up the targets and 2 boxes of ammunition. And he's ringing the 2 boxes of ammunition up now.
And how much were the 2 boxes of ammunition for 9mm? A 9mm.
I don't recall. It'll be on the previous slide for the receipt, but I think it was around $24.
$24 total or $24 for each box?
I believe it was $24 for each box.
Okay. All right, we're going to now go to what happens after they leave here.
So they pay for their range visit, they get their firearm or the ammunition, the targets. They then proceed to go put ear protection on and walk into the range and begin to load magazines and then take turns firing the weapon.
All right, and we're going to go to the segment where they're actually firing the weapon. Okay, what's happening here?
So in the back, the shooter is loading ammunition into the magazines. At one point during the video, Mrs. Crumley does help load at least a couple rounds of ammunition as well into the magazines, and then they proceed to take turns shooting the firearm.
All right, and that's, we're going to speed to a part. Is there some point where you're observing him instructing or trying to help his mother?
Yes.
All right. Okay, what are we seeing here?
So this is one of the times that the shooter shot the murder weapon. He sends the target downrange, loads the magazine into the firearm, and then discharges it several times.
Now, as far as you know, in terms of looking at all the evidence, is that the first time he's fired that weapon, if you know?
Yes, based on all the evidence I was able to locate, this is the first time, yes.
Okay, we're going to jump ahead to, if you know, does Jennifer Crumley ever fire the weapon?
Yes, she takes, I think, 2 total turns firing the weapon, I believe.
Okay. And what are you observing right now?
So in the video, the shooter's instructing his mother how to load a magazine and chamber around. Right now he's pointing to the slide release, telling her how to send the slide forward and chamber around from that magazine in the firearm.
How many rounds, if you know, did they fire that day?
I believe it was a total of 50. There was 2 boxes of 50 rounds of ammunition, and they left the range with 1 full box of 50 rounds.
Do you know how many she fired versus the shooter?
I don't know the exact number. I know that it was significantly more for the shooter than his mother.
Okay, do you know, how do you know that they left with a 1 full box?
So at the end of the video, the shooter packages up the 6-hour in the 6-hour pistol case, and then hands the box. His mom takes the box. Mrs. Crumley takes the box as they leave, and the shooter walks out carrying the box of ammunition.
Okay, and we're going to fast forward to that part. Do you see any? Can you, in watching this video, is it visible the actual case?
Yes.
And do you see a lock or the ATF pamphlet?
No, not during this video. No.
Okay. And is that the SIG case?
It is.
Now, is he permitted to carry that gun out of the range?
So there would be nothing barring him with his mother's supervision right there for carrying the firearm, no.
Okay. And what about the ammo?
Same with the ammo.
Okay. And we see later, he's packaging it up.
Yes.
Okay. And we see later them leaving and who's carrying what?
Right now he's trying to figure out how to fit all the magazines and the firearm in the pistol case. He eventually, successful in doing so, closes the clamps on the firearm case. His mother walks out with it, and he walks out with the ammunition.
Okay. And if you know, how many rounds did he take to the school that day?
I believe there was a total of 50 based on the number of rounds discharged being 32 and the rounds recovered.
We talked about the cable lock that was sold with the SIG. If it had been installed in that firearm, about how long does that take to install a cable lock?
If the slide's already to the rear of the firearm and the magazine port and the ejection port are visible, it would take under 10 seconds.
Okay. I want to, lastly, draw your attention to Exhibit 130. What's that?
So this is an Instagram post by the defendant's son.
It's 100, sorry.
Oh, yeah. By the defendant's son, after returning from the shooting range, took my new SIG out to the range today. Definitely need to get used to the new sights, LOL, and then there's a picture of his target.
All right. And this is a post that Jennifer Crumbly posted that day?
Yes, that same day, Mom and Son Day, testing out his new Xmas present. My first time shooting a 9mm, I hit the bullseye.
And this is just a different picture with the same post?
Yes, I believe she had 3 photographs with her post, including the 6 hour on the kitchen counter with the ATF pamphlet underneath.
And do you see a cable lock?
I do not.
Okay. Moving to Exhibit 130. This is the math worksheet.
Yes.
Did you have an opportunity during your investigation to look at this?
Yes.
And what caught your attention, if anything, with this drawing?
The very first thing I noticed was that there was an apparent shooting victim on the drawing. Whether it was a fatal shooting, non-fatal shooting, I'm not certain, but clearly when I looked at it, it was not a suicide.
Anything else?
Yes, so the firearm that was drawn on the piece of paper, after reviewing the murder weapon, I noted several similarities between the two and believed that this was actually a drawing of the murder weapon.
And what was similar?
So on the back of the murder weapon, there are striations or lines on the slide of the firearm. Additionally, the shape of what's the trigger guard, so it's the part where the trigger is housed in. It's that kind of I would say that it's like a half U shape where the trigger is inside of, as well as where the ejection port is, and most notably the magazine. So the bottom of that firearm, you see how it's not flush, how there's basically 2 parts there? That part on the Sig Sauer magazines, there's like a lip that's different than other firearms that shows how it kind of like curves down in the front.
All right, next I'm going to, what about is there a picture of any ammo on that drawing?
Yes, there's a picture of ammunition. It's definitely a pistol caliber ammunition. It's definitely not .22 caliber ammunition. It does appear to be a 9mm round of ammunition, or at least resemble one.
Okay, and next I'm showing you exhibits previously admitted, 97, 101, and 130. What are we looking at?
So those are pictures of the murder weapon on either side. You can see the markings I was talking about, the striations on the back of the slide of the firearm, the shape of the magazine, especially when you look on the picture on the right. You see how it's not a flat shape, it doesn't sit flush with the firearm, how there's different levels there. Additionally, the location of the ejection port and the shape of that trigger guard, again, that half kind of U shape there.
And Special Agent Brandon, my last question is, what was your impression when you viewed that drawing?